crocodile tears, ooh, I can't believe this. Then a week later, you go right back at the dictator and fascist rhetoric again. So, you don't really care.
Rarely have we ever seen an administration, and not just the president, but all of his top aides, the vice president included, act or react to a moment like this in such a deeply personal way.
He was a friend of a lot of the people in this room.
He ordered flags to be flown at half-mast. He is going to honor Charlie Kirk posthumously with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. I mean, these are things that are a very different response to what we've seen in other cases like this.
Give him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is a big deal. It's the civil version.
We don't have a motive yet. We don't know yet. We're waiting. Obviously, we've heard what the governor's had to say, what the FBI director said today.
Come on, we don't have a motive yet.
We know.
We don't have a motive yet.
What's
really?
happening with?
Really, that's CNN's position.
I mean, from law enforcement,
he just happened
Senator.
to fire the gun in celebration.
You're just pretending. And for that, you, and you in a corner too.
First of all, I'd heard different things about his ideology. He wasn't a registered Democrat or Republican. He may have been a Groyker, which is a follower of Nick Fuentes, who's on the right. But I'll say this, it shouldn't matter. This has happened to Democrats. This has happened to Republicans. Playing the blame game is not toning down the rhetoric.
You can't tell the motive.
Senator, that's not what I said, and I said law enforcement hasn't laid out a direct motive. They've laid out a lot of evidence here of these messages and what
actually,
the
they
shooter
have.
said to
They've said that
family
he was a
members
left-wing
and to
activist who
roommates.
hated Charlie Kirk. Pardon?
Senator, with all due respect, you know exactly what I'm saying. I'm not arguing with you politically. I'm
Seems
saying
to be
that
something we have been seeing more and more of. And it's not even left or right. It's just people being taken out because of their beliefs.
There's just no place for this kind of violence in this country.
Bring extremists is danger to our democracy, they're Nazis, you know the words. Yet you seriously sit here acting surprised when lunatics who believe your words decide to take matters into their own hands.
I am with you for the idea of a colorblind society. Colorblind society is something we should aspire to, but I think it's a farce to think that it doesn't exist, that race doesn't play a factor.
I totally agree.
Okay.
Yeah, you're black, but it doesn't matter. It's not the most important thing. Instead, it's, are you a good person? How do you act? How do you treat other people? Are you a Christian? Like, what is your worldview? I want to get back to that. Of course, we're still going to see differences, but I want to de-emphasize them to a place where we look at each other as fellow human beings and fellow American citizens.
Your side burn and loot every time things don't go your way. Your side tried to assassinate the president multiple times. Your side burned Teslas all around the country and wanted Elon dead. Your side assassinated Charlie Kirk. Your side is currently celebrating it. So don't talk to me about, well, this is not a left and right issue. It is the left. It's only the left. It's ironically the Democratic side who engages in political violence and of figures they disagree with.
Oh, please. Right, why don't you start with the President of the United States, right? And every ugly meme he has posted and every ugly word.
And every time something like this happens, you come here, you tune down the rhetoric, crocodile tears, ooh, I can't believe this. Then a week later, you go right back at the dictator and fascist rhetoric again. So, you don't really care. You're just pretending. And for that, you, and you in a corner too.
And do not put him on on a page or a picture with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That is even more insulting. But I'm not easily triggered. I see what you're doing. So let me tell you what you're doing. And you guys need some therapy. You are trying to make sense of something that doesn't make sense because that's not Charlie Kirk. He wasn't that.
He's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Matt.
And that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
over 50% of Democrats saying violence against Elon Musk is justified, violence against Donald Trump is justified.
How can you argue that it's, I think the argument that people have been talking about recently is what's going on with the Charlie Kirk case. I think people have raised that because there have been other acts of political violence as well when it comes to targeting Democrats.
Propagate hatred against some people or communities. And, you know, if you think about some of what Charlie Kirk had to say, he did have hateful things to say about groups of people, and he did encourage even violence against groups of people.
And so now you are trying to, you know, make someone into something that they simply were not. I have empathy for his family and his children and all of that. But yet, I don't understand this other part. I mean, would you do that around other people in history who made awful remarks like that?
Someone like Charlie Kirk, he should be ashamed of himself.
The mainstream media, in its relentless pursuit of narratives over truth, must be held accountable for the dangerous consequences of its fake rhetorics. They are manufacturing monsters like these.
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
We think that Charlie Kirk just got shot.
I would say pour one out for Kirky boy, but I don't waste good beer on little p***s.
Charlie Kirk just got put down like a fucking dog in Utah, and I could not be happier.
I will not ever feel bad when bad people get what they deserve.
I'm stoked right now. You want to know why I'm so stoked?
These grotesque, useless beings, stripped of reason and devoid of humanity, are the byproduct of a culture that rewards blind rage over truth, destruction over dialogue. In their blind obsession with silencing voices like Charlie Kirk, the media has manufactured an army of hollow creatures with no decency, no morality, and no humanity left. This is the cost of their lies, a society where freedom of speech and real values are attacked not by arguments, but by the monsters they have spawned.